Buying a property in Cyprus comes with many legal hurdles and pitfalls. This video series gives you free of charge the first important information on what you need to watch out for if you want to purchase a property in Cyprus. So make sure to watch all 5 videos until the end. Hello and welcome. My name is Florian Wilk. I am the Managing Director of CMC in Larnaka and Paphos, Cyprus. And we, something not everyone knows, also have an integrated law firm, Anna Panayotou LLC, and we also handle the processing of property purchases and sales. In Cyprus, properties are not bought or sold at a notary's office. Instead, the transaction is handled through law firms. And today I would like to start this video series with the topic, why Cyprus in the first place? What makes Cyprus attractive as a real estate location? Why do people buy property here on the island? On the one hand, it's of course due to Cyprus's very advantageous location. Cyprus is only 3 to 4 hours by plane from Central Europe. It's also just a few hours by plane to Dubai and many other hubs. From a security policy perspective, Cyprus is also safe as an island, especially now with the emerging political conflicts around the world. And above all, Cyprus has a mild Mediterranean climate in spring and autumn, hot summers, but also very mild winters, depending on your preference, of course, but I think overall it offers an attractive climate. In addition, the infrastructure is very good. People speak English and are extremely hospitable. It is a safe island and the tax advantages are also not to be underestimated. This applies both to companies in Cyprus, which pay only low corporate tax rates, and to individuals who, with non-domicile status, are exempt from tax for 17 years on dividends and interest. But real estate investments are also not in a bad position tax-wise. This video series will also go into more detail about that. There are great regions in Cyprus, whether it's Paphos, which is very touristy but beautifully green with wonderful hills and vineyards, in the hinterland, or Limassol, which is more urban with a fantastic marina, great nightlife, skyscrapers, or even Larnaka with its large airport, beaches, a compact, easy to navigate city that is growing and still has a lot of growth potential. Or also consider the eastern part of the beautiful island of Cyprus, specifically areas like Paralimni, Ayia Napa and Protaras, which boast a truly fantastic and well-developed tourist infrastructure and are experiencing a very promising and dynamic developing situation, indicating a great and significant development that lies ahead for these regions. Or also the northwest of Cyprus, Polis, Lachi, very unspoiled and very typically Cypriot, one must say, with little tourism and beautiful nature, stunning landscapes and a wonderful bay at Lachi there. So Cyprus really has a lot to offer. Great locations, it's a large island, not as small as one might think, and accordingly it has the diversity people are looking for. Leisure activities, golf, water sports, there's a lot on offer. Of course, this makes the island not only interesting for people who want to use it themselves, but also for investors who want to purchase a property either for long-term rental or also for holiday rentals. The number of visitors is steadily increasing. The pre-COVID numbers in terms of annual visitors have long since been surpassed, so to speak. So, in fact, one record year follows the next, despite the politically challenging situation these days. International buyers are also very interested in Cypriot real estate. This is partly because there is a residency program. That means for non-EU citizens, investing in Cypriot real estate is also worthwhile because a permanent residence permit is granted along with it. Furthermore, Cyprus is expected to become the 26th Schengen member next year, which will further boost the location and further increase its attractiveness. So in fact, there are many reasons that speak in favor of Cyprus as a real estate location. And it should also be said that in international comparison, prices are still quite moderate depending on the region. Of course, there are also some very, very high-priced regions in Cyprus, but in many places, prices still seem quite moderate to me and definitely have growth potential. It's very, very important to say something about the legal significance. The legal system in Cyprus is, of course, different from the German or Austrian legal systems. Cyprus was a British colony for many years and still follows common law, the British legal system. This has many advantages and is simply international. It's very popular and favored by investors who like to rely on common law. And of course, you need to familiarize yourself with it a bit if you want to purchase property in Cyprus. And it is, after all, a different system than what you know from Germany or Austria. What are the steps involved in buying real estate? Of course, the first step is selecting the right property. Here too, I am happy to recommend partners or real estate agents we like to work with, where we know our clients are in the best hands and will find their dream property. So once this process is complete, once I have identified my dream or desired property, I should not simply transfer a reservation fee or, even worse, sign a contract. That is the moment when I need legal assistance and absolutely should make use of it. Please, under no circumstances should you just assume that everything will be fine. That means the second step, after identifying and selecting the right property, is to consult a law firm. We are very, very happy to assist with that. To take a look, for example, what is the legal situation? A preliminary check is carried out. The documents are reviewed to see if there are any existing liabilities or problems with the property. In other words, a kind of due diligence is performed. And then, if everything is in order, only then is a reservation fee paid, often 5,000 or 10,000 euros, simply to reserve the property and take it off the market. Then, in the next step, the contracts are drawn up, the purchase agreement, possibly additional agreements, appendices to the purchase contract, and then, once both parties agree, these contracts are formally concluded. Sorry, not transferred, they are signed, and afterwards the land registry entry is made. The land registry certificate, we call it title deed in Cyprus. The title deed is then transferred to the new owner, to the person or company that becomes the owner of the property. Those are, in broad terms, of course, there are many, many individual steps, but those are the most important steps of the property. And as I said, it is absolutely essential to seek independent legal advice here and to be advised by real professionals who do nothing else but legally support and handle such real estate deals. In our office, we have 2 lawyers who specialize in corporate and real estate law. Communication is possible in German. So if you are considering buying or selling a property, please contact us and take advantage of the opportunity to receive advice in German. In the next videos, we will go into detail about the purchase process. We will discuss legal pitfalls, taxes, and whether it is better to buy off-plan. That is, a property under construction or an existing property. So stay tuned. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.